The man was impaled by a tree branch and left hanging on the tree. A serious car crash threw him up there. The female driver anxiously told the firefighters the other driver, like he was drunk, crashed into her at full speed. Her husband tried to save her and was thrown into the air. Even worse, there was a broken branch on the tree. Her husband was pinned onto it. The branch went straight through his abdomen. A lighter female firefighter volunteered to climb up first. The sooner they reduced the pressure, the higher his chance of survival. She quickly climbed above him. After securing herself, she grabbed him tightly with both hands. Her teammates arrived from 2 ladders with tools. They supported his body and secured him with safety ropes. Using the thick branches, they quickly set up a simple pulley system. After confirming he was stable, a firefighter used a chainsaw to cut the branch at its base. The female firefighter held the rope tightly with all her strength. The teammates below lowered the rope. The victim slowly came down.
Lungs are diminished.
Sir, can you hear me? It's barely a pulse. I'll get an IV and push fluids on our way to med.
Help us lift him in Tambo.
Everyone.
Only then did she breathe a sigh of relief. The rescue was completed, the rest was left to the doctors. A young man caused a car crash by drunk driving. The cans in the passenger seat showed he drank a lot. The hit car was about to fall apart. Inside, a father and son were injured. The son had already fallen into a coma. Firefighters quickly cut the car open and rescued them. At this moment, Casey found the driver who caused the crash was missing. A patrol officer said he was sent to the hospital. Even stranger, all the beer cans in the car disappeared. While he was confused, the officer told him to look behind. It was Hank, a sergeant from the anti-gang unit. He had power on both sides and no one dared to mess with him. And the driver was his son. So the officer chose to ignore it. The next day, the fire station received a 32-inch TV. It was donated by Hank. The team did not know the truth and felt happy, but Casey returned it. The father from the crashed car came to thank them with a cake after leaving the hospital. His 16-year-old son was alive, but paralyzed from the waist down. He would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. People in the police station twisted the truth. They said he ran a red light, asked him to admit it, and pay compensation. So he hoped the firefighter could testify for him. Casey was still hesitating, but then clearly wrote in the report that the driver was drunk. The captain praised his honesty and courage, but that night, Hank came to find him, hoping he would change the report. His son had a record. If he went to jail again, he might never come out. It was clear he had cleaned up his son's mess many times, but his son is his son. Isn't someone else's son also a son? Casey refused him on the spot. This made Hank very angry.
What you're asking me to do...
I'm not asking! If you're not the kind of man to do a cop a favor, I can take this to the next level real easy.
The captain showed up in time and eased the situation. The next day, Casey's tires were slashed. His windows were broken. His bag was gone. It was obvious who did it. That night, Hank brought the attacker to him and returned the bag. This was a clear threat. Casey found a roll of cash in the bag. The meaning was very clear: hit first, then give a reward.
One that keeps my son out of jail. Lets you and I get on with our lives. All you gotta do is change that report.
I'm not gonna do that.
The chief's son caused a crash by drunk driving, but the chief twisted the truth. Not only was his son fine, he also asked the victim to pay. Because Casey told the truth in the report, Hank kept showing up everywhere, trying every way to trouble him. After failing to bribe Casey, he went to his girlfriend instead. This scared her badly. After Casey found out, he rushed into the police station and warned Hank to stay away from him and his family.
The threats don't work, Voight. I'm not some scared banger begging for a look the other way. Know this. I'm not retracting my statement.
This brought him even more trouble. The next day, on his way to work, he was beaten by thugs. As a firefighter, he fought well, but one man cannot fight many. Luckily, he only had minor injuries. Unable to take this anymore, Casey followed Hank that night with a metal bar. Just as he was about to act, the captain appeared in time and told him it was not worth ruining his life for such a person. But what he did not expect was police came to his home with a warrant, saying someone reported he was hiding illegal items. His girlfriend got nervous after hearing this. She searched inside, found a suspicious bag under the table. As the police were about to enter, she quickly sat on it. Casey said he was a firefighter. His girlfriend was a doctor. They would never break the law, but the police were ordered to search and would not give up easily. He said his friend was also a chief and could be consulted. He made the call on the spot. With his friend's help, the police left for now. This large bag of illegal items was enough to send both of them to jail. He told his girlfriend to dump it into the toilet. Then he went to Hank's house. But Hank calmly took out a gun from his boot and pointed it at him, but unexpectedly, he did not shoot. Instead, he handed the gun to him.
You retract that statement against my son, or you pull that trigger.
Casey knew this was a trap. If he really did it, his life would be over. Their fight would continue. Unexpectedly, things turned during a fire. A fire on the 8th floor spread through the hallway. At a critical moment, Casey pushed 2 civilians into a room and called for backup. Firefighters raised the ladder, rescued the woman first, then the man climbed out. As the fire was about to break the door, Casey jumped out of the window. Luckily, his body was strong enough, avoided falling off the building. After everyone reached the ground safely, the rescued man stopped Casey and said he could help him. It turned out he was a gang boss, had private dealings with Hank. After talking with the police, that night, the man asked Hank to meet. It was clearly not their first deal. They spoke directly.
Tell you who it is?
Yeah, but I wasn't really paying attention till he said something about the money.
His name is Casey.
How much?
Depends on services rendered.
Deshaun said his boys got 5 for jumping him. Figure I could do a lot worse for $1,000.
Bro, you stop him for good, I'll give you 2.
What he did not know was the whole conversation was recorded. Everything was under police control. Sirens sounded. With evidence and witness, Hank was arrested on the spot. Such corrupt police should have been punished long ago. They cause even greater harm to society, breaking the law while knowing it will not end well. So, do people like this exist in real life? Have you ever seen someone steal an ambulance in broad daylight? The thief drove wildly, almost hitting pedestrians. The paramedic said the vehicle has GPS. It can be shut down remotely.
We're gonna turn off the engine, lock up the tires, and send your face flying through the windshield.
That ain't true.
Police cars caught up. With pressure from both sides, the thief got scared, hit the brakes, tried to run, but he was caught on the spot. But this was just the beginning. Soon, the fire station was attacked.
What's going on in here?
The firefighters were shocked. Who would be stupid enough to attack them in broad daylight? Soon, the police came to investigate, asking if they had offended anyone.
We're not cops. People are happy to see a firefighter show up.
There were no clues. The police could only tell them to stay alert, symbolically sent people to guard the station for protection.
Anything like this before. So much for being the neighborhood's house.
A firefighter noticed something strange near a fire hydrant. In the freezing weather, a few thugs stayed around the hydrant. Some suspicious people were watching nearby. By accident, he saw the rookie hide the station's food budget inside the stove switch. It suddenly gave him an idea. He went back to the hydrant and waited. He saw the thugs took out contraband from inside and traded it. He instantly understood why the fire station was attacked. He got out of the car, went alone to meet their boss. It turned out they used the hydrant for deals. And every year at this time, firefighters clean the hydrants. Once cleaned, their hidden goods would be washed away. So they kept creating trouble to delay the cleaning. Even after being exposed, the boss still looked careless. The firefighter asked them, "These people walk in dangerous situations every day. If something happens to them one day, should firefighters save them or not?" After saying this, he gave them a look to think about it themselves and walked away. After that, the thugs stopped causing trouble. The fire station returned to normal.